Hi, welcome to Easy Learning. In this video, we are going to learn about algebra. Algebra is a branch of math. Algebra is a lot like arithmetic and it uses the same four arithmetic operations: plus, minus, multiplication and division. Algebra follows all the rules of arithmetic and uses the same four arithmetic operations: plus, minus, multiplication and division. But the symbols in algebra for multiplication and division are different. Like if we want to multiply two numbers in arithmetic, so we use this sign. Like we are going to multiply 3 times 4, so we will use this symbol for multiplication in arithmetic. But in algebra, if we want to multiply 3 and 4, we will use a different symbol, like we use this dot, which shows this dot symbol, which represents multiplication in algebra, and it shows that we are going to multiply 3 by 4. We can also use, or we can also write it like this in algebra by using parentheses around one number. So this means the same, 3 times 4. And we could also write it by using parentheses with our second number. This means the same. These are 3 different ways in algebra for multiplication. In algebra, multiplication sign is usually not shown because it's the default operation, and you can assume that two things right next to each other are being multiplied. Like if we have two things, 5 and x, so in algebra this means 5 is being multiplied by x. When we want to divide two numbers in arithmetic, we use this division sign. Like we want to divide 64 by 8, so we use this symbol for division in arithmetic, 64 divided by 8. But in algebra, we write it like we write fractions, 64 divided by 8. So we use this sign for division in algebra. These were the minor differences of multiplication and division in algebra from arithmetic. Rest of the rules of arithmetic and algebra are same. Algebra introduces the element of unknown. Here n is unknown. 4 plus 6 equals n. What is the element of unknown in algebra? Answers of our arithmetic problem or problems are same as the element of unknown in algebra. When we solve this 4 plus 6, the answer isn't known until we do the arithmetic here. And the answer of our arithmetic problem is same as the element of unknown in algebra here. In algebra, we don't know what a number is, yet we use a symbol in its place. Here, n is a symbol. The symbol is usually any letter of the alphabet. What is algebraic equation? An equation is a mathematical statement that two things are equal. 4 plus 6 equals n. Here n is the placeholder that stands for the number that we don't know yet. In this algebraic equation, this equal sign is very important, and this equal signs in algebraic equation says that equal or same value, means things on this side of the equal signs have the same value as the things on the other side of the equal sign. So, things on this side of the equal signs, these things are known, but the things on this side of the equal sign are unknown. So what we have to do? We have to find the value of this unknown in this algebraic equation. So this is our goal, to figure out what the unknown value in this equation is. And when we do that, it is called solving the equation. Let's solve our algebraic equation. 4 plus 6 is 10. So 10 equals n. So the value of n is 10, and we can also write it as n equals 10. Both means the same. To understand the concept of variable, we should know some important rules. Like in algebra, whenever we see the same symbol repeated more than once in an equation, it's representing the same unknown value. So always remember this rule. Another important rule is we can't use the same letter to represent two different numbers in the same equation, like we did here. We have two different values, 3 and 5, and we assigned to the same symbol y. Y equals 3 and y equals 5. This is wrong. So what should we do if we have the problem like this? In that case, we should assign two different symbols like y equals to 3 and z equals to 5. So this is the correct approach. Let's say you have an equation, y plus z equals to 2. What could y and z stands for so that the equation is true? Let's figure it out and get to know what is variable. Let's solve this equation and find out all the possible values of y and z. Let's say y is 0 here and z is 2. When we add them, we'll get 2. This means our equation is true. Equation is true. Move on. Let's switch these two values. Suppose here now we have y equals to 2 and z is equal to 0. So when we add them, again we'll get 2. So this means our equation is true. Right. Let's think about other possibilities. Suppose y is 1 and z is also 1. When we add them, we'll get 2. Again, our equation is true. Did you notice that there were different possible solutions for this equation y plus z equals to 2? Like if y is 0, then z is equal to 2. If y is equal to 2, then z is equal to 0. And the last possibility is if y is equal to 1, then z is equal to 1 to make this equation true. In this equation, y and z both are variables because their value can vary or change depending on the values of each other. What is an expression? An expression is one or more numbers, variables, or numbers and variables with one or more operations. Examples of expressions are like if we have just a number, so this is also an expression. And if we have a number with variable, this is another expression. Numbers and variables. So in this expression, we have both. And if we have just numbers and they are coming with operation, with one operation or more than one operation, so this is also an expression. So these are all about expression. What is an equation? An equation is a statement that two expressions are equal. It has an equal sign. Let's take an example of equation. This is an equation and 30 plus 25 equals 55. This equal sign shows that this is an equation On the right side of equal sign, we have this expression, and on the other side of this equal sign, we have another expression. These two expressions are combined with equal sign, so we call it equation. Another example of equation is 49 divided by 7 minus 2 equals 5. So on the right side of this equal sign, we have one expression, and on the other side of this equal sign, we have another expression. And these two expressions are combined with this equal sign. So this is another example of equation. We use the word simplify. Simplify an expression or simplify an equation. What does this mean? Simplify an expression or simplify an equation means to solve by performing operations. We also use the word terms or combine the like terms in algebra. What does this mean? I'm going to write an expression here. 6m plus 3n plus 9m plus 2n. In this expression, we have four terms. First term, second term, third term, and fourth term. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. We have four terms in this expression. Now I'm going to combine the like terms. What does like terms mean? Here we have two symbols, m, n, again m, and again n. So I'm going to combine the like symbols. 6m and 9m. Here m is common in these two terms. So 6 and 6m plus 9m. I'm going to write it together. So these are like terms because both have m common. Now I'm going to write another variable, another symbol, which is n. N, another n. So 3n plus 2n. These two are like terms, and here these two are like terms. So I'm going to combine them. 6 plus 9 is 15. 15 with a variable m. And here I'm going to combine these two. 3n plus 2n. 3 and 2, 5. Because n is common in both, so I'm going to write n here. So this is the way to combine like terms. In our today's video, we learned about basics of algebra, how algebra is a lot like arithmetic, and what are the four basic common operations which we also use in algebra, and what are the symbols and variables. We use all alphabets. We can use any of the alphabets from A, B, C till X, Y, Z for the symbols and for the variables. Variables means the symbols or the letters which can change or which can vary their values. So that's why we call them variables. Expressions and equations. The difference between expression and equation is that in equation we have the equal sign, and on the both side of equal sign we have expressions. We also learned about simplify. Simplify means to solve an algebraic equation. And we also learned about terms or the like terms. So this was all about basics of algebra.